Hey everyone, I'm Ultimate456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to a channel update video. So this one's probably going to be a little bit shorter than most, and there's a very specific reason for that. The first thing is that I wanted to give you a heads up on the current situation, and that is that I'm actually recording this update video only probably an hour and a half before it goes up, when usually I would do like a day, or I don't know if I've done a week before, but maybe a day or two or something in advance. But the reason I'm recording it so late is that I'm kind of behind, if I'm honest. Final Fantasy VII is now finished. This is the first video after it finished that I'm going to post. And obviously you guys know that Demon's Souls Remake is coming up next. However, I'm kind of behind. I have made some progress in Demon's Souls Remake, but not enough to where I'm comfortable to start posting the episodes, because I'm not fully sure of all the intricacies of what to do. I actually kind of forgot that Demon's Souls is well, I think it's fair that I forgot because it's been many years, but Demon's Souls is actually quite different to the other Souls games. There's a difference to it, and there's a lot of quality of life things that the future games did that this one just doesn't have. And yeah, so it's a little bit more difficult to put together. So I think for the first time in a really long time, I'm gonna have to leave a bit of a gap in my upload schedule, which sucks because I want to keep posting. I am working really hard on it. I'm trying to get it done. I'm hoping that, I think worst case scenario is 1 week, which I know is a long time. The Friday coming up, this will go up on a Saturday in Australia time. The following Friday is my birthday, and I hope to at least have one episode to post on that day. If it's the first episode, great. If not, then it'll hopefully be the day after that. But essentially, I want to make sure that I have enough time. So I'm recording this sort of just almost 1:30 on the Saturday, so I have the rest of today and tomorrow to work on Demon's Souls. And look, it could happen sooner. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it will definitely be a week. It might be more, it might be less. But I'm gonna work on it and do it as quickly as I possibly can. I just want to make sure that I get it right, because I think that Demon's Souls Remake will have the best opportunity of any game I've done up to this point, that it might actually get more views than what Bloodborne has, and that's a big deal. So I want to make sure that I get it right. So there's quite a lot to do, and I'm trying to piece it all together and see what I can come up with. There's some of the trophies have changed from the PS3 version. If you recall, I think one of the big ones, and I can't remember what the trophy was, but you had to get upgrade materials for your weapons, and one of them was pure Bladestone, and pure Bladestone dropped from skeleton enemies, I think, or something, and they were just they had a notoriously low drop rate, and apparently that's been amended in this game, but the trophy for leveling up the weapons all the way has gone. However, leveling up weapons all the way is really good, so yeah, it's kind of a bit all over the place. The other thing to say is I bought a new capture card, which is cool. It's a 4K one. Demon's Souls doesn't play in 4K yet. Maybe they'll do that in the future. I think its maximum resolution is 1440p. But what I did do was, with the help of a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, he helped me kind of set up some stuff for recording the game in 1440p, or at least using the new capture card. And what it does is basically I uploaded it as an unlisted video, and I tested it. And it was he was like, make sure you record 20 minutes. So we recorded 20 minutes, we uploaded it. YouTube downgraded it, or whatever. It didn't upload as it's a 4K video, but it reduced it to 1440p. And it looks great. In all honesty, it looks very good. It's not perfect. There are still those little kind of smudgy pixels, or whatever you want to call them. They're generally, because this game has a lot of particle effects as well, but you'll notice it. If you've got good internet, you can watch it at 1440p and it'll look pretty damn good. But yeah, there will still be some of that thing. I think you can almost never eliminate that unless you're encoding, the bit rate is super high, for lossless quality, but that file size is just insane. So I got to keep it like, you know, good quality, but also maintain the file size at an appropriate level. Yeah, so Final Fantasy VII is now finished. Whew, boy, 111 episodes. I knew it was going to be a long one, but I thought I would get it done by about 100. So I'm a little sad that it didn't happen, but I think I'm really proud of it. Like when I was recording the last episode last week, I'll be honest, I wasn't feeling great, and I had a mind to like record this episode last week as well, and I just wasn't feeling like, I was kind of stuck in a rut in a way for no real reason. I was just kind of I wasn't feeling fantastic, and yesterday was a really good day. Like I went to work, and then I went out with some friends, and because I'm driving to work now, I was like, you know what? Let's go, boys. Like, I'm driving. And so we all drove. Me and three other guy friends were all in the car. And it was like our first like maiden boys trip kind of thing. We went to eat it at a restaurant, and then it was good. It was like we had fun, and I was happy, and I felt so much more confident. Like, I've never seen driving as like one of the most important things in the world. And I definitely think you can get through life without doing it. But the confidence that it gives you, or at least the confidence that it gave me, is like, it's just like nothing else. I remember I used to know a guy who said that we went to the same school, but I only knew about it like 5 years later when we were working together in the retail store I used to work at. And he said the thing he liked about our school was that it gave him confidence. Well, driving gave me confidence. So that's, yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm out there, I'm like, oh, I'm good at this. But yeah, anyway, so Final Fantasy VII is done. The guide will be up really soon. I'm hoping to get it done before the end of the weekend. So like 36 hours or something. I just need to format it because I didn't realize I was using Microsoft Word, and I'm using Google Drive to put it up there. So Microsoft Word and Google Docs are not synonymous, which means that formatting changes when you upload it. And so I had to reformat everything. So I'm working on that. It's a bit annoying, but it's almost there. And yeah, the other thing is like the personal life is going cool. I'm still working at the job that I got like last October. And it's going well. Like I was a bit worried like here and there with different things that were going on, but no, we seem to be like just working really well together as a team, and we've got a pretty tight-knit team, and everyone just works together well. It's probably the place that I've worked at where like it's such a small team as well. It's only like 4 or 5 of us. And everyone's just like, yep, you know, I can say, hey, can you go do this for me? And he'll be like, yeah. And then he'll say to me, can you do this? Oh, sure. And we're just kind of like learning each other's jobs and trying to get it all done so that we can just like rotate perfectly in our job. And it's amazing. It's really, really good. It's made me feel a lot more confident, a lot happier, and given me the opportunity to just like focus on this as well. In regards to YouTube as well, like I'll be honest, I felt really overwhelmed. I think Final Fantasy VII turned out, I think I went off track before. Final Fantasy turned out to be probably one of the better guides that I've made. I think it was a kind of a rocky start. Then I kind of did pretty well. And then I think the middle portion towards not the very end, but like sort of in the later part of the game was like some of the best I've done. Like I was very happy and proud of like what I had made. And in the end, I'll be honest, some of those last episodes, I felt like I phoned them in. I tried. I was just very like, I wasn't like I am now in a sense. So I want to take advantage of this feeling, this confidence, and like work towards Demon Souls and the stuff in the future. And speaking of the future, I think like I'm pretty excited because like we have not really heard too much more about different announcements for the PS5 ever since, you know, the ones that we know about, like Resident Evil 8. What else have we heard? Well, we're hearing rumors about Silent Hill, which I think will come to fruition. Like I think it'll be kind of like Demon Souls. Like everyone thought, okay, what's Bluepoint's next game? What's Bluepoint's next game? It's Demon Souls, it's Demon Souls, it's Demon Souls, and then it was Demon Souls. So I have a feeling that there's a very strong that Silent Hill rumor is very strong, and to see that series come back after so long is just crazy. So I'm super excited for also like other stuff to come, like the second God of War. Gosh, I can't remember anything right now, but you know, there's just big stuff coming. So I'm very, very excited. In terms of, yeah, okay, that's pretty much the last thing. I'll just give you this. People will forget or they won't watch the video this far or whatever, but I'll just say it now. My intention for 2021 I don't usually plan things out this far in advance, but I'll do my best and we'll see what happens. Like subject to change. Remember that subject to change. So the plan is right now Demon's Souls Remake, followed by Danganronpa 2, which annoyingly, like, oh, that's actually, yeah, I remembered something I wanted to ask. If you never had seen Danganronpa and I was the first person to like introduce you to Danganronpa and you stayed and you watched the entire thing, what did you think about it? Like, post in the comments, like, what did you think about the first Danganronpa? Because for me, like, when it was introduced to me, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And it's just like, it's so quality. It's so quality. And I think I have my phone here. I kind of wanted to check something. You know what? Give me a sec. Okay, cool. I'm back. I wanted to check something because someone notified me. One of my Patreons, Mr. Dennis Atkins, thank you, sir, notified me that the creator, I think it was the creator of Danganronpa, thinks that there might be another Danganronpa game after, I guess, 3 or V3, if you want to call it that. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I mean, could you imagine that? Like another Danganronpa? I mean, they're good, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, post in comments if that was your first introduction to Danganronpa and you liked it, because Danganronpa 2 is essentially more of the same, but it's a slightly different story. Different things will happen, but it's interesting. The only downside is that, like, I know it's going to take another 4 months to get through, which sucks because the first one was 124 episodes, which is almost exactly 4 months. So yeah, that's a bit of a frustration thing, but I like frustrating thing, but I like the game enough, and I think people will enjoy the game enough to where it helps. And on top of that, like I said, I was feeling pretty overwhelmed by the level of work that I gave myself with Final Fantasy VII. Like, making that guide as well took a lot out of me. It made the guide really, really good, but it was a lot of work. And with Danganronpa, it's very simple. It's like literally all I do is like play a chapter over a weekend or something like that and go, all right, there's like 14 episodes ready to go. You know what I mean? 14 or 16, I think, if I remember correctly, was where the first one ended. Oh, but that would have been including the prologue, so I don't know. But anyway, but it really, like, it'll not underwhelm me, but it'll whelm me, I guess. I don't know what you want to say. It'll allow me to go, all right, play, make the episode, and then I can, like, sort of relax a little bit and focus on other stuff. Because it's like right now, or for Final Fantasy VII, it was like work life, YouTube life, work life, YouTube life, and very, very little like stuff to do for me as well. I was still like watching a few Twitch streamers that I like, and other videos that I like. GDQ was recently on, so if you wanted to watch that. It's so frustrating that this ongoing pandemic has made GDQ just like almost like a former shell of itself or something. Like, it's just, there's no, like, the background, like having those people there is just, being in person is what makes it really, really good. And just on that, this is a very random thing to bring up, but GDQ probably hates that I'm going to say this, but there was a run, and I hope it's still on YouTube. There was a run that happened many, many moons ago by a guy called Bonesaw577, I think is other numbers after his name. And he did a Jak and Daxter run a long time ago. And it was one of the funniest runs, like, not even funniest runs, but it was one of the funniest, like, interactions between different human beings while someone was playing a video game, while someone was speedrunning a video game, and then they make jokes throughout the whole thing. And GDQ didn't like it because, like, they're so, like, proper now, and it's like, oh, we're doing this for Prevent Cancer Foundation, which is extremely important, of course, but, like, have fun. And I think he was banned for that. It was dumb. But I encourage you, even if you're not into speedruns, watch the video. If you're feeling down, watch the video. It's so funny, and I have to watch it again because it's like when you start watching like Whose Line Is It Anyway every few years, you're like, oh yeah, let's watch that scene again. So it's hilarious. It's so good. I wasn't even going to mention that, but it just came up. All right, so I'll quickly tell you. So the plan is Demon's Souls Remake, Danganronpa 2. Most likely I'm going to do Resident Evil 4 after that, because so Demon's Souls will be like of probably medium length. I'm guessing like a 70 episode affair. Danganronpa 2, I'm guessing like about 120 something episodes again. Resident Evil 4 will be shorter. I'm guessing 50 maybe, something like that, 50, 60. And then I want to fit in God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, and Neo 2 somewhere at some point, and possibly the Danganronpa spin-off game as well. That would be nice to try and fit in somewhere towards the end of the year. I think between those, so Demon's Souls Remake, Danganronpa 2, Resident Evil 4, God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, and Neo 2, and the Danganronpa spin-off game. So between those 7 games, I think it'll definitely take us into next year, like most likely, depending on, because I'm not 100% sure. Like Shadow of the Colossus, I know is a relatively short game, but I think there's a lot more in the remake version of it, or in the remaster, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot more in that game than what was in the original game, so it might actually take longer than I think, but it also might be shorter than I think, so I don't know. But that's my intention to do, and people will still ask me what's next. Again, subject to change, something might come up, I don't know. There's also, I forgot, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I do want to do, and I'm so glad that I did the original now, because I've got like the majority of the story now is in my head, and so when I do the remake, I can appreciate the remake more than what I had originally appreciated it, because I have played it once already, and I got like a few of the references here and there, but now I'm starting to really like understand it more and more, and it's super exciting. And also, I know I've talked about him a few times now. Watch Maximilian Dood's, like if you're really into the, like if you know a lot about it and you don't mind like what's the word, speculating, if you don't mind speculating about like what's to come, watch Maximilian Dood's like sort of recent video on it. It's talking about the new, like there was two things that were trademarked. I won't say them, I know them in my head, but there were two things that were trademarked recently by Square Enix, to do with Final Fantasy VII and like the ethos or mythos. I don't know which one it is, but anyway, to do with the world of Final Fantasy VII. So it's super, super, super exciting, and I'm desperate to see like a screenshot from the second game. And actually, Maximilian Dood said something about how the second game could start, and if they do it, it's perfect. They have to do it. It's just absolutely perfect. I don't want to say it because it is kind of a bit of a spoiler, but let's just say start in the truck. That's it. Opening scene, start in the truck. People will know what I'm talking about if you've seen the original. Just start in the truck and have a conversation between two very important characters, three very important characters actually, if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's good. I think that's a good way of saying it, and so people will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, look, I'm feeling good. I've got to go because this video is going up in like an hour and 20 minutes, so I've got to rewatch it, edit it. Thank goodness it's nowhere near as long as what I usually do, but I think I got enough information out there. I'm looking forward to this year. I'm doing my best, and always trying to keep going on. I can't believe I've been doing this for almost 6 years. Like on May 24th this year, it'll be 6 years. So, you know, if I have nothing, if not determination and consistency, apart from potentially taking a few days off. So look, I apologize for that. I'm doing my best. Bear with me. More videos coming. So I'll leave it like that. I want to thank you for watching this update video. My name is Ultima456. You're the Ultimates. I'll see you next time.